wife and I had gone to a concert or something, and then gone to this place called Don's Depot in Austin. It's like a beer hall, kind of like, it's a lot of locals. And we went, and as soon as we walked in, I could tell that there was like a group of like 20-somethings, like college girls that like recognized me. You kind of tell when they're all going like this, and they turn around, and they're like, shh. And so I get in the line at the bar to buy a drink, and Jen gets to the table with another like father and mother parent friend of ours from school, and it's 4 girls. They come up and they're like, hey, we love Gilmore Girls, and I'm like, oh, thank you, it's a good show, yada yada. And they're like, can we take a picture? And one of the, like 3 of them are very excited, and one is like looking at me, and I'm like, yeah, no worries. And so I'm in line, I take a picture. And then the 3 Gilmore Girls fans leave, and the one who thought I was like some giant moose at the bar is like, so wait, who are you? And I was like, hey, I'm Jared, you know what I mean? Like, I live here in town. And she's like, wait, they were saying Gilmore Girls? I was like, yeah. And they go, the girl goes, well, what did you do on Gilmore Girls? And I was like, I was an actor. I'm an actor. I was one of the boyfriends. And she goes, oh, okay. I think I remember. Which boyfriend? And I was like, oh, Dean. And she goes, no. For the mother or the daughter? And I was like, fuck you. I was 17.
I have this experience every once in a while at a convention. Somebody will come up and say, you know, you and I share the exact same birthday, and it'll be an old woman. And I'm like, what? Fuck! I have age dysmorphia because I'm so immature that I still think of myself as somebody.
We all do think of you like that. Anyways, love you. Thank you. Let's get to it. How you doing?
Hi guys, my name is Crotchley. I just wanted to ask, I know it's fairly new and you guys just probably started, but the thoughts on The Boys. I'm glad that we'll see both of you. I'm also nervous, but happy. So your thoughts?
Nervous and happy too. Our thoughts on being together again on The Boys?
Yes.
Shit.
With Jensen, with the new cast.
Yeah. I mean, this marks, when's the last time you shot Supernatural? It was March. Yeah. So I haven't shared a camera or a set with Misha for over 5 years.
It's been nice.
Jensen for 4.5 years. We've seen each other obviously and kept in touch. But it's funny, I will say, so Phil Segrisha is directing the episode and Kripke was there. And so it was funny because this is how we talk on set, you know? And like, hey, fuck you, right? Sorry. Hey, go to hell, yada, shut up. But the people, you know, Kripke's the showrunner on The Boys, and so when he's on set, people are buttoned up a little bit, and they behave, and Kripke would be like, hey, can you do one a little more levity or gravity or whatever? We're like, nah, whatever, like, get out of here. And they're like, you know, we've known him for 20 years. Like,
Until you say to Phil gives you some direction, and you say, don't tell me what to do!
And they're all like, oh God, like, there's gonna be a fight. No, it was great. It felt like no time. I didn't, honest to God, man, other than objectively knowing that we hadn't shot together for 5 years, it didn't feel like any of our discussions or interactions were any different than they ever would have been.
Yeah, no, we hadn't matured at all.
We had not matured at all, yeah. But
it was fun. And I will tell, I mean, I don't want to, we've been instructed not to give away too many, secret spoilers from the show, but there were a lot of bodily fluids. I can tell you that.
Yeah. True.
I think that was clear from season 1.
What's that?
I think that was clear from season 1.
Yeah,
Fair, yeah. It gets worse. Anyway, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Hi.
So I've been wondering, because I love, we just talked about the episode earlier, I think it was today. The episode,
I love it too!
The episode!
Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
That episode.
The one with the brothers?
Yeah, the one with the brothers.
Yeah. I like
Yes, I saw that one!
And the invisible Xana.
What?
Sully.
Just my
Oh, yes.
imagination.
What's it called?
Just my imagination.
Death Without a Name.
No.
My imagination.
Somebody Without a Nation?
Just
my.
That's what you were going to say.
So, I've been wondering if you have ever noticed if any of your kids have or have had any invisible Xana around.
Xana is Sully. Remember Nate? Who was so the episode I Have an Imaginary Friend when I was a kid, and he shows up, and then Dean can finally see him. And he's like, "Who the fuck are you?" My
He
son.
helps them through a difficult time.
Amazing, and I love that character. I hope in season 16 I can do more episodes or scenes. I will say this. If my boys...
They might have to recast though. You're a little old to play Sam.
I mean, Sam's dad.
Sam's dad.
Oh, whatever. I'm out of work. I need a job. I will say that my oldest son, Tom, who's 13 now, and my middle child, younger son, Shep, who's 11, if they have an imaginary friend, then I don't know about it. They haven't shared it. Odette, my daughter, who's 8, she sees energies, and she'll come down sometimes and be like, "I couldn't sleep." And I'm like, "That's okay, just hop on the floor, you can get something." She's like, no, I was talking to angels, and and she's never watched Supernatural. Like she's on some different planetary plane to do 2 PLANEs in the same sentence. Yeah, she sees things, and I'm an insomniac. I'm a terrible sleeper, and I have been for my adult life. But she is as well. So she'll come down 2 a.m. and "Hey, can we go for a walk?" And or I'll be awake. So she might have a Xana. What about West and Mason? They have any night things going?
Mason, I told this story in my show last night, so a portion of the audience is going to be even more bored than usual. But my daughter had an imaginary friend named Bobby.
What?
And it was Bobby was as crystal clear and as real as anything could be. And one day she came to me crying and she was like, "Dad, Bobby, I was like, what, honey, what did you Bobby said a bad word." And I was like, "Oh no, honey, oh, what was that?" And she said, "Bob said the F word." And I said, "Oh, that's bad." And she said, "Yeah, so I choked her. And I think I killed her." And she had been her imaginary friend for 2 years. She talked about her we all talked about Bobby like she was a member of the family. And Bobby was dead from that point on. We never heard of her again.
I will never say the F word or make them mad. That's incredible. Shh, go to the light, go to the light, go to the light. So Odette, during COVID, during the pandemic, Odette was 3, 4, and she's down, the boys are outside or something, and it's me, Genevieve, and Odette, and Odette all of a sudden goes, "I can't say bad words at the table." And Jen and I kind of look at each other, we're like, right, that's right. And she goes, "But I'm thinking of a bad, can I go to the bathroom because there's a bad word?" And we're like, sure, but in the bathroom, don't say it at the table. And so she runs off. It's 20 feet to get to a little half bathroom, and she closes the door. And Jen and I are looking at each other what is going on? And so we both sneak over. And our dad runs in and closes the door, and we put our ear to the door, and all we can hear, she's like 3 or 4. She's going, butt cheek, butt cheek, butt cheek, butt cheek. And then we get to hear the latch, like the deadbolt opening. We're like, oh shit. So we go back, and we're like, are you okay with that? She's like, yeah. And maybe Bobby was in there. Bobby's like, don't say the F word, because I'll get choked out. Just say butt cheek. Anyways, thank you.
That reminds me of, we were over at West and Mason's best friends when they were little were like, there was a boy and a girl who were exactly the same age as they were. And we went over to their house. I think West was probably 8 and Mason was 6. And all the kids went upstairs and they were playing, and they had some room upstairs with a bunch of toys in it, and they were playing, but the 4 grown-ups were sitting downstairs, and it was like an hour. And it had been totally quiet. And we suddenly looked at each other like, guys, why is it so eerily quiet in this house? And the dad was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go upstairs and check on them. And he went upstairs and he came back down and he was like, so I might need a little help on this one. I went to open the door, it was locked. I said, kids, you have to unlock the door. They did. They were putting their clothes back on. I asked them what they were doing, and they said, we were playing the penis butt game. Which I know is a game that you and Jensen played.
Yeah, we're black belts. We're black belts. Shit.
Anyway.
This non-sequitur, but I will say this: having kids now and having gone through kids like the first 5 years, I am grateful forever that Misha talks to me still, because there was a time here in Rome, like how old was Wes? 3 or 4 or whatever, when Philip was here. So we're like, it was pre my children, and Wes was here. He must have been like 2 or 3 years old, and we were at a dinner, and so Misha's over there, whatever, we're like 10 of us. And then Wes would come over and I would grab sugar packets, like for tea and coffee and stuff, and just be like, hey buddy, give me your hand. He'd be like, and I'd like get a sugar packet, I'd open it and pour it in his palm. I'd be like, eat it. So he'd eat it.
I also have a photo of you and West at a creation convention when he was maybe 5 years old, and some fan had given you, because you said you like gummy bears, a fan gave you this like, not 1 pound, it was like a 5-pound gummy bear. It was fucking huge. And you were like, come on West, take a bite. And West was like, his face is just like gnawing. And you were like, and by the way, that sugar thing, that was the first time he had sugar.
Shit. Oh yeah, I'm glad you didn't kill me. Thank you. Sorry. Hi.
Hi. I have a question about if you have any rituals or suspicions. No. Thank you.
Superstition.
Family, thank you.
Yeah.
Before doing filming on the show.
Oh, I thought you were going to say before masturbating.
Yeah, sure, you can go there.
What are you, German?
No, Croatian.
Oh, okay. I got it. Oh, sorry. Nothing against Germans.
Against Croatians then?
I love Croatians as well.
Thank you.
No. I have some German in me. Okay.
Jesus Christ! You somehow tried to dig yourself out of that. You simply managed to offend every European nationality.
I have a simple question.
Misha would love to answer this. Superstitions before filming.
Yeah.
Or rituals.
Yeah.
Before filming?
Yeah. So the way you run lines or...
I don't run lines. I hate rehearsing dialogue. For whatever reason, until we're on set. I don't think I have any rituals or superstitions. before filming. I do have, I'll say this. As far as I can remember, I've never gotten onto a plane, not filming again, just in personal life. I've never gotten onto a plane or gone under a yellow light without kissing my finger and touching the roof. I don't know. Apparently it's lucky, and I've never been in a plane crash.
Gone under a yellow light? Like when you're at an intersection
Yeah, I
driving?
gotta go from green to yellow, I just go, and
Huh. Do you know what the origin of that is?
some sort of OCD or some psychopathy. I'm not sure exactly what it is. I've been going to therapy to try to figure it out. I don't know. I think I'm
Probably they don't even have like targeted medications.
They
that
don't.
deal with it.
No,
It's a very specific
It's a
pharmacological mix that you would need to fix that. Yeah.
But before filming, no.
That's common. That's quite common now.
What is it? I will say this. I with filming or like if Genevieve and I are gonna interview an author, I have to read every page of whatever's going on, whether it matters or not. Maybe it's probably OCD now. But like with the boys, and I'd already seen it. But when they cast Misha and me, I went back and watched every episode, seasons 1 through 4. I'd already seen it, but I was like, okay, now I'm studying it. I'd watched it as a fan, but I had to watch it as a coworker. I don't know. You?
It's interesting how everyone has a different approach. I want it to all be very fresh for me, so I never open a script before I film.
You wing it.
And I think it shows. It shows up on the screen.
It does. It's working.
Does it come across? Yeah.
It does.
You get the sense that neither the actor nor the character knows what's going on.
Yes, thank you. Cheers. How do you say
Actually, we kind of had that experience on The Boys on the first day of filming, which I can sort of reveal, which is that they told us that we weren't going to be doing any of the dialogue. Today, like that first day, we were just going to grab these like sort of action elements,
Moving around.
and then I was like, I actually want to double check that because I don't want to show up and not have any idea what the dialogue is. So I called and I double checked. It's like on the call sheet it says we're not doing the dialogue, and the first AD was like, let me check for you and I'll get right back to you. And then he texted back. He's like, yeah, confirmed, no dialogue. And then we got there and it's like, first thing Phil's like, so what we're gonna do is all the dialogue. And Jared and I were both like, fuck.
True, fucking true. Thank you, wherever you went.
I'm here still.
Oh,
At least I know I'm memorable.
good to see you. You are memorable. You're my German-Croatian friend. From earlier.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for the rituals.
Hi guys, I'm Ines, also Croatian.
Oh.
This is my first con ever, so lovely seeing you for you.
Sorry?
Love your hair.
I love your hair. I love all of Croatia's hair. Thank you.
And my question is, if you were invisible for 10 minutes, what would you do?
Might have a fourth child. I would.
I'm not sure that answer reads well.
For 10 minutes?
It's like,
I have a fourth
somebody would be
child.
like, oh my god, I felt the tiniest little prick. What was that?
Wow. All right, I'm gonna reverse back. So 10 minutes?
Yeah.
That's enough time.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I'm happy with my answer.
You gotta watch the clock too, because like if your program invisibility stops and goes, oh, sorry, I thought I another minute.
There's so many ways to go with this, and I'm going to try and avoid them. I would take a nap. I'm not kidding. Genevieve, 42, so 2 years ago, Jen's like, hey, I know you're not into surprises, whatever, like, just give me some guidance for your 40th birthday. Like, what do you want? Do you want, like, a gift? Like, do you want, like, to have friends over or be somewhere, just the two of us? She's like, what do you want for your 40th birthday? And I was like, a nap? And that was it. So I'd probably nap.
That's a real waste of a superpower. You know you can do that visible too, right? Yes! I think I would probably, if I were invisible for 10 minutes, I think I would sneak into the Oval Office. Swap out the text of one of the executive orders that Donald Trump is about to sign. Like, he's going to sign an executive order that says, and we must cut down every last living tree in America's national parks, right? And right before he signs it, I'd swap out that text for another one that says, if you're a registered Republican, you're automatically transgender. And he would sign it, and then that would become the law. That's what I would do. But Jared would be napping.
I was gonna be like, oh God, I'm transgender. I didn't know we could fly to fucking DC. Like, that's more than 10 minutes. What would you do?
Oh, come on now.
You have to quit waiting! You didn't have an answer?
I would sneak with you on a plane.
Well, you wouldn't have to sneak, you'd be invisible. You could just walk.
Right, but then you would appear mid-flight on the plane, and we'd be like, what the fuck? How did she get in here?
All right. Well, you're welcome on our flights anyways. Thank you for coming from Croatia. Croatia? They're neighboring townships. Thank you very much.
Love you guys.
Love you guys.
Hi guys, I'm from Ukraine. This is my first JIB seeing you actually, and I'm still trying to figure out how everything works. And I think that for this 2 days, I didn't find a moment to say that I love you guys.
Love you back.
You're such cool actors, and you look like such great dads, and you have great sense of humor, and you're considerate. Jared, you really pay attention to people that are here, and I really appreciate it all.
What did she say?
She said, you pay attention and you're considerate. She said, you guys about the first things, and then she said, and particularly Jared is considerate and pays attention to other people.
Who said that? I'm just kidding. Thank you very much. Sorry. We're also 10 years old. Thank you.
Yeah, I haven't even finished watching seasons, so I'm really very new to the concept.
Just wait.
So, my question is, yesterday, Misha, you were talking about your childhood, and I'd like to know what kind of teenager were you? Like, maybe you have some interesting stories or crazy
Does
stories
he ever?
from your teenage age. But also you, both Jared and...
I'm more interested in his stories. No, he has some amazing stories.
The teenage years were interesting. I did, I don't know what to tell you about. That's a very broad. Tell me about that 6-year chapter of your life. We have time. I didn't really fit in very well. I was kind of a weird kid. I mean, I still don't fit in very well, but I was, I just wasn't properly socialized, so I did not know how to fit in. We didn't even have a television, so I wasn't aware of what was going on in pop culture, and we moved all the time, so I didn't have a close group of friends that I knew well, and I think that resulted in me being very weird. But that sometimes also resulted in me just not understanding that like certain things weren't normal. So I kind of also did some things that were kind of cool and interesting just because I didn't know that you didn't do those things. In my show last night, I talked about like how my mother really like beat into us this idea like you're not supposed to follow rules, and I was like, I ran with that. I thought that was a great piece of advice, and I did things like my mom went on a trip and left me and my brother at home when I was 15, and as soon as she left, it was the winter, I was like, awesome. And I just called school and I was like, hello, this is Misha's mom, and he is very sick, so he won't be in school for the next few days. How do I know it's the next few days? I just know he won't be there, he's very sick, he's not gonna get better, okay, bye. And then my mom had left the keys to her car, and so I took my brother and a couple of friends to Vermont skiing, and I didn't have a driver's license, and I had never driven before. So I was like, how hard can driving a standard transmission car be? And then at one point we ended up like in a ditch on the side of the road because it was winter and the roads were covered with snow and I didn't know how to drive. And then like other drivers had to stop and help these children pull a car out of a ditch. And mercifully, nobody bothered to check to see if I had a license or any kind of identification, because I didn't. But we did things like that fairly often, and it was great. And I look at my kids now, and they're like, oh, fuck. They're like, they follow every rule, and they're like, Dad, is it okay if I go in there and order a drink myself? And I'm like, oh my God, when I was your age, I was already committing felonies. Get your shit together.
That's amazing. Thank you. That's amazing. I think he has a million of them.
What about you as a teenager? Like
Me, I was nothing better.
You were super smart, super precocious.
I was like a pretty studious kid. I was pretty shy, which is bizarre. That's why I think y'all have to bear the brunt of me being absurdly. I'm not gonna finish that sentence. I was pretty quiet. I think I had a lot going on in my head. I think you and I both have something where we have a lot going on in our head, and it's like, am I gonna mute 100% of it and just kind of have to release it later, or 90% of it and get 10% out now, or am I just gonna go and like say whatever crosses my mind? Your mind works very quickly. Like you all know this, I'm sure. But when something's happening, we'll be in the green room here or wherever, I'm playing on set in the truck, heading to set, and his brain is like, go. So I think I'm aware sometimes when you're, being reserved, that your brain is probably like saving up a lot of stuff that's gonna come out some way.
Or it's just like trying so hard to come up with anything and it's coming up dry.
Pretty fun, but I was kind of a nerdy kid also. But thank you so much. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you.
Interesting. I think I was also pretty shy and reserved. My younger brother was like really outgoing and like always talks to strangers, and I was like, oh my God, how does he do that? Like, how does he talk to people? And it's such a funny thing to think that we wind up in this environment, and both of us, I think, ended up being fairly comfortable being in the limelight. But if you had known me at 15, you would have been like, no, fucking that kid, not that kid. Yeah.
I love that. Hi, how are you?
Hi, fine, you?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
I'm interested, do you play board games at home with your family, and when? If, what games do you play?
Do we play board games?
Yes.
We do Taco Cat Cheese Go.
Oh, yes.
Not really a board game, but we do.
Oh, it's a board game.
Do you know Taco Cheese Cat? Yeah,
It's a card game.
It's a card game.
Yeah.
We do like Monopoly Go. It's called Monopoly Go.
Yes.
It's also not really a board game. We do puzzles. We'll do board game. We'll do like Legos and puzzles and do stuff that's board adjacent, I suppose. But we'll do Monopoly Go, where you have like this Monopoly without a board. Yeah, we won't play board games. I don't like being bored. I'm kidding. We did Monopoly, that board game. No, we don't. We do chess. I do chess with my kids, my sons. But I do chess with their dad too. No, is there a good board game for like 10 years old, give or take 3 years?
Carcassonne, for example, is
Carcassonne?
Carcassonne, yes.
What's that in English?
It's a Carcassonne in English. It's from
Carcassonne.
Carcassonne. It's a city in
Okay.
France, Carcassonne,
Okay.
and
This sounds like you work for the city of Carcassonne. Or
I'm just the board games. I'm organizing board game events. And I know many publishers, and Carcassonne is from a German publisher called Hans and Glück.
Amazing. And Germany's near Croatia, right? I'll get Carcassonne. I do play Pokemon with my 11-year-old, and I've become my people. Yeah, I've gotten really into Pokemon with my son. It's a cool thing. But how do you spell Carcassonne?
Oh, Carcassonne.
That was like 35 letters. C-A-R-S-S. Okay, Carcassonne. Okay, all right. I'll look it up.
Write it down.
Do you play board games?
We play a few board games. We'll play Settlers of Catan every once in a while. We'll play Monopoly every once in a while, but it takes for fucking ever, so we never finish. Bananagrams is actually kind of great, and you can modify it for like the little kids. Like they don't have to connect the words, or it's just a fun game. But chess, we play. My son has this thing, like he's always been this way, but even when he was a little kid, he's not like ruthlessly out to win, and he's not a sore win, he doesn't rub it, he's like very gracious winner when he wins something, but he fucking hates to lose. So it's not that he needs to win, he just needs to not lose. It's a really clear thing with him too. And so I felt like it was my duty as a parent to teach him a lesson. Like, you're gonna have to go through life learning what it's like to lose sometimes. So instead of letting him win when we played chess, I would beat him at chess. And then he decided, you know what? He actually, he just applied to high school, and he wrote his high school application essay about this. It was like this moment when he decided, I'm gonna beat my dad, and I'm gonna really destroy him. And we recently played chess with him blindfolded, and me starting with one rook removed. Him starting with one rook removed, and he beat me in like 10 minutes. Wow. It was fucking horrible. And he taught me a lesson, I didn't realize how much I hated to lose that badly. Yeah, it was awful. Yeah.
You provoked it.
I did provoke it.
So it is Carcassonne.
Carcassonne, I love that game. Thank you, I'll buy it. That's amazing about chess. Thank you so much. Or merci. Hi, how are you?
Hi, so first of all, Jared, you really need to work on your Italian because you speak a lot of Spanish.
I
wanted to say this.
Che cazzo fai?
Sì, no. This was perfect.
Allora, no,
okay. Allora.
Andiamo ragazzi.
My question was actually...
Wine. Vino.
Ti amo. So my question was... Okay, you're kind of distracting me. My question was, so Misha, you wrote a book, you wrote a lot of poems, and Jared, you read a lot. I was wondering if you could, or if you have to recommend just one book, like a life-changing book, which one would it be and why?
Wow.
I know, I stole the question actually from Lisa Berry.
Oh wow.
And I was answering it and I was like, I'm like, what you guys?
Are you still, I remember you gave me Life of Michael K, Life of Time.
Oh yeah, Life of Michael K.
Yeah. That's 15 years ago, 12 years ago, 10 years ago?
Yeah.
That's such a great, I wonder, I want you to answer first because you're better at this than I am. But it's, like if you asked me a year ago, I probably would have had a certain answer. A year prior to that, a different answer. I've been kind of, and we just talked about this immediately to an extent, I haven't been reading self-help necessarily, but I've been reading things nonfiction recently. I have some ideas, but I want to think about it. I wonder if you have something that clicks immediately.
I mean, I don't know. There are a few books that I have come back to more than once. Michael K. I actually read last year again. Yeah. It was kind of a fascinating experiment because we both read the same book, and I was like, read this book, it'll be interesting to hear your perspective. I find it very uplifting, and you read it, and you had the right, I think, the accurate reading of the book, which is like, this is the most depressing story ever. But somehow my brain had contorted it into like, isn't this a like beautiful message? It's not a beautiful message, spoiler alert. But there are certain stories that just end up sort of echoing in my mind more than other ones, and like I feel like the long tail of them. That book is one of them. There's this other book that I've referenced before that had this strange impact on me. It's called The Annals of the Former World by John McPhee. And it's this like 600-page book on the geology of North America. And that sounds like such a boring thing. But reading this book made me think about the physical world in a different way. Like it changed the way I thought about the physical world, and it changed the way I thought about the spectrum of time. And that was just kind of cool to have like one book. And it's probably because I wasn't a student of geology, and it was kind of like this whole universe that I hadn't been exposed to. And then I read it and I was like, holy shit, it's like a reframe. You can think about things in a different way. So I guess books that cause me to just think about things in a different way to varying degrees are the books that I love the most. And it can happen in all different kinds of ways, you know.
Did you do Pale Blue Dot?
What?
Carl Sagan?
No.
Did you, that's the way you were describing that book. I think it's called The Pale Blue Dot.
Yeah.
It's Carl Sagan, yeah. I don't know if it's thin blue, it's Pale Blue Dot. But that to me was the same thing. When I talk about seeing the earth from far away, it's just a pale blue dot. And going like, oh yeah, we're just humans. Like no one's gonna give a shit about us in 100 years or 1,000 years. Let's make the most of our time here. That was kind of a similar feeling I had reading that book. The two books I brought with me are books I've read before. I mean, I have 100 books on my iPad, but the actual hard copy books that I brought were The Mountain Is You by Brianna Wiest, W-I-E-S-T, and The Next Conversation by Jefferson Fisher, who we'll be talking to in like 2 weeks. And they both help me think about myself and the way I behave in a way that I think is going to be helpful. No, I'm going to stop that. They have opened my eyes to different ways of thinking and acting and reacting that I'm certain will be helpful for myself and my friends and my family for the rest of my life. Yeah. What about you? Do you have one?
Yes, Tuesdays with Maury by Mitch Albom.
Oh yeah, Tuesdays with Maury. Yeah, that made me cry. Yeah, that's a good book. Yeah. Thank you so much for your question. Yeah, you got it. Oh, this is the awkward transition.
They've been desperately trying to get us off stage for 20 minutes.
I started talking about, and another book I like is...
and then when I was in 3rd grade...
What's that? Thank you all so much. Love you guys. So grateful. Welcome these two amazing human beings, Billy and Rob. You know them well.